on your wristband vlog, and we're going into my shop. We have a Gopher and Pederson tonight, and we have another big tonight. We're opening up the museum tonight, and you know, this whole event is designed to have fun. We want you guys to come out here, have a great time. It's the last race of the year. We don't want to see you guys get hurt. We want to see you guys have a great time. And you know what? We have some guys I'm hoping to come out yet to ride. Doug Hoover, you know, he's going to be here hopefully. Obviously Ross Pederson, we're hoping to see him ride that beautiful Yamaha and get a little bit dirty. And you know, the guys that helped put this together, you know, I can't thank them enough. Before I pass this over to Andy, so we said, you know what, it's an old vintage race, and what do? We got an old vintage referee on there. Look at this, guys, the white gear, the white. There it is. Oh!
That was great, man. Did you enjoy that or what? Old memories. They should have had the fucking again, man. It's great to see you. It's a weekend.
As Ross Pederson. So I can't explain it. I mean, I watched it. We all saw it. But you know what? I'm going to pass the mic over to a guy that was kind of firsthand. And this story is, by the way, Ross approved. So go ahead.
All right. Yes, it is true that Ross approved me telling this story because I asked him last night, do you mind? And this has got nothing to do with me, but I was involved in this, and it's really to show the character that comes from that guy over there. That Canada's best motocross racer we've ever had.
First of all, let's introduce it. This is Al Jagger, guys, for those of you that don't know.
So anyways, this was a practice session day, and I was, in 1980, I was hanging out with Ross practicing with him. And we were at a track in Carlisle, just north of Waterdown, and there was a sand whooped out track that actually has a full suburban neighborhood in it now. But at the time, it was a rough track, and just Ross and I went there, and he was in his box van, the Suzuki box van, and I was in my van, and we both had the Suzuki. I think they were both 250s, and we were just pounding out laps on this track. And at one point, we were in this moto, and I knew that Ross was behind me, and I was doing my best to keep ahead of him, and I was. And then at one point he came up behind me, and I can only describe it like this: is that it was sort of like an uphill with a slight downhill, then another uphill with a crest, and then the crest went down to a big bank berm corner. So I was like having a pin going through this, and it's all whooped out to the max, all through the whole thing. And I could tell that he was trying to pass me as we got to that final crest to go down into that berm corner. And I was determined in my mind that I wasn't going to let him pass me. And so I just went up to that crest of the hill, and at this time he was right beside me. And I knew that he was going to try it, but I had the inside line, and I thought, I'm going to keep it on too. So we went down there, he never shut off, I never shut off. And we went into that berm corner, and we smacked into each other, and we just went flying over the berm, and we cartwheeled over the side, and we both crashed. And I seemed to, fare pretty well from the crash, and I jumped up immediately, but what I heard was screaming, basically. And I ran up and saw, there's Ross, and there's my bike lying on the ground, and there's Ross with his head stuck between the fender of my RM250 Suzuki with the answer muffler on the thing right against the wall. And his head was stuck in there being burnt. And so, long story short here, I ran to the thing, I grabbed that muffler, and I ripped it right off the bike. And so I wrecked my bike at that point, thanks Ross. But anyways, he was
hang on there a second. He didn't grab the muffler and rip it off. He grabbed me by the hair and he pulled my
Okay, so anyways, I pulled that thing off, and he was burnt bad here. And so we're just like freaking out about this and that. He was pissed off. And as I recall, you could correct me on this, I don't think you were pissed off at me. It was like he was just pissed off that we both had this crash, and he was in pain. So we ended up like getting our bikes picked up, and we got them, I don't know if we got them started or we pushed them back to where the trucks were. And for the next 20, 25 minutes or so, Ross sat on the back end of that Suzuki box van, and you could see it in his face, how pissed he was. And we had taken a towel, and he wrapped the towel around his neck. And we're trying to think about what are we going to do about this. And this is what happened, is that we didn't go to the hospital or anything like that. Ross asked me if I would go and fill up his bike with gas. And I did. And I sort of knew what this was leading up to. He was going to go back out again. And he duct taped that towel around his neck and put his helmet back on. And I filled the bike up full with gas, and then I watched him for 35, 40 minutes until that bike almost ran out of gas. And he was just an animal. He was just, you could see it in his riding how aggressive he was. And that's how Ross dealt with adversity, is that he basically just put his helmet back on and went out there and pounded out the laps. And I'm not sure what the end of that injury was, but it was burnt and it was bad. And it psyched me out quite a bit because...
Guys, can you imagine this? You got your girlfriend at home, you got this big, well, it looked like a hickey to me. And I'm thinking, how am I going to go home and tell my girlfriend, oh, that I landed on a muffler.
big round of applause to Lawrence Hacking, who made this happen. And we were very fortunate. We thank the gods and that for the weather we got today, because it didn't look too promising when we got up this morning. But it turned out great, and it's just an honor to be here. Thank you.